Howdy. How's everybody doing? I've been on a while because family, kids, all that stuff. Kids off for the summer's a killer, isn't it? Used to love it when I was a kid, but it's full on, So I just didn't get the time needed to break something down or to sit down and do a video for you now. Hopefully I'll get back into the swing of it. We have some bass reviews coming up. I got one of those Ibanez EHB headless ones, the 1505 one with the fancy top, and Ibanez SR605E, which are actually very similar instruments actually. But let's do what I was asked to do, which is Back in the Beginning by Mick Karn. Let's see if we get these levels low. Yeah, maybe a bit hot. Back in the Beginning by Mick Karn. And I got stuck into it and realised actually it's a huge surprise. A lot of what was going on is very counterintuitive stuff, very weird, some of it. But sure, we'll get into it bit by bit. This is going to be part one. I'm going to do up to the breakdown bit where there's a kind of mad breakdown thing. We'll go up to there. Okay, let's get cracking. All right, so I'm not sure how much of this I can actually do without getting kind of a little copyright slap on the wrist. But let's play along and see what we get away with. I'll do little bits, the only way. But look, essentially we're going to start here on the 9th fret and the D string. That's going to be our starting point. Right, let's play along. Okay, it's the usual Karn wonder, isn't it? Fabulous stuff. This is much like a lot of his stuff. There's a central theme, which is that part, right? That goes around and around, and it's the little bits around it that change. So you'll see as we go along. So we're going to start on the D string with your second finger on the 9th fret and your first finger on the 8th fret. Now, before we get into this, the pedantic people who correct me say they're not frets. We know that. It's a fretless bass. The fret positions them. Whatever. I'm going to say fret. You know what I mean? Don't be smart like. All right. We're going to start in the 9th fret of the D string with our second finger. Put your index finger in behind it, right? So you're going to go. Nice and handy. And then you're going to slide up to the 11th fret on the D string, but there's a kind of little slide up after it, so right, a little bit of vibrato there. And then he plays an open D and an open A string. This took me a while actually, as obvious as it is, because I wasn't quite sure that there wasn't some kind of tuning thing at play. But no, it's an open D and an open A. Now, that does change later on, and we'll get into that, you'll see in a second. So we're going to go from the top. See a little slide afterwards. That's what makes this playing so unique, is this stuff. All that rambly whoop. No one did that before, really, that kind of Eastern influence, So from the top, open D, open A. Now you can play the next section down there, and that's all I thought he was doing until I found this shaky fan cam video from 1991 or whatever, and it's miles back, but you can see his positioning, and he's nowhere near where you think he is. So he's never surprised us before, Mr. Karn, has he? So okay, this is the first part. Next part, on the A string, we're going to slide from the 7th fret to the 9th. Now, these are all small slides, just give this gloopy, dreamy feel, right? So we're going to slide from the 7th fret on the A string to the 9th, and back down a little bit. It's not that. It's like it's fallen away from the note, kind of, right? the 11th fret on the E string, the same feel. Twice. To the 7th fret on the E string. So that section is. And from the top. Got that so far? I'll break here because I'm afraid of losing the video. Right, so we've done this bit. That's where we're at, right? The next part is we're going to go back here. To the 10th fret on the A string. To the 9th fret on the A string. To the 7th fret on the A string. And there's 2 notes there. So, and here's where the fun starts. You're going to put your little finger on the 9th fret on the G to make an octave. You get this. You can hear it already, can't you? And we're going to play both of those notes and slide them up slow. Now look at, I've this torn rotator cuff thing, so I can't get up here as quick as I'd like to. I can do it with a horse, you know. So when you get that's where we are. And you make your octave. And it's up to the 9th fret on the A and the 11th fret on the G. But you're going to, when you make those 2 notes and you hit those notes, it's a F sharp. When you hit those notes, let them sound for a minute, and then you're going to slide both of them up together. Like so, it's like and then 4 open E strings. So that section. So from the top, real slow. There's your first section. Forgive me for doing this here, right? But there's an incredible amount of people who watch the videos over and over again who don't subscribe, and really give me a dig out if you give it a subscribe. I'm not going to go on about it, like, just give us a like and a subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks. Like, there's loads of people who show you how to play Hotel California and all the popular stuff. This niche stuff, there's not too many doing it, and I don't think there's many go into it in the kind of forensic detail that I do, working the stuff out. And so look, it'd mean a lot to me. Okay, thanks. We close our eyes to all that's right. Cool, isn't it? So I think best way to describe it is it's over the section where he says we turn our back on all that's frightening, right? So it's the same, except instead of going open D, open G, sorry, open D, open A, he goes, it's like this is a ghost note. So it nearly hits the harmonic. Just mute that D string. Don't play it. Like just rest your finger on it. So from the top, that part. So it's A and E instead of G and A, right? So it goes. You know what I mean? Just wherever your hand ends up. Now, part of the reason he does this is so that he can get around the neck real quick. You're going, how's he getting around the neck so quick? Well, it's because he's using these open strings as a dropping off point. So if you think about it, on this part, he's up here, and he's to get to here. Okay? So it's... And those open strings give him time to move his left hand. That's the same as the other part. This is where it's different. So from the top, that's more muted. And this part is the same. That's the same up to there. This next part is different. We're going to go 12th fret on the A string. Wait till you see this. 12th fret on the A string to the 11th fret on the A string. Right, so just get that rhythm into your head. I don't know how to explain it. It's like 12, 11. I can't do it like that. Now, so we've been on A here, but he's going to do a hammer on to A flat. Because, of course, open G and hammer on to, so it's an open G and hammer onto the G string on the first fret. Right, so from the top, don't go back up because it's here. Isn't it cool? And now there's another little bit that's different, which is probably the hardest sounding bit. We'll do that now. So actually from the top. So what's he doing there? Well, sticking with our knowledge that what he does is he has a theme and he changes it. So the theme changes from what we call the verse to the kind of pre-chorus. The only difference being instead of playing, he's going. Or sometimes there's two of those goes. So I'm finding the flat mounts a bit sticky today, so just bear with me, right? I want to get the notes across here rather than my own performance, right? So let's do it's the pre-chorus theme, shall we call it so. Right, we've done that a load of times. So, 9th fret on the, I just love this, 9th fret on the G string with your little finger. Play the note and actually give it real wide vibrato so that you're moving up and down the fretboard beyond the actual fret you're on. So normally we do vibrato on a fretless bass like this, side to side, by the way. Now I've seen people do that. Then you're just going to make holes in your fretboard eventually. Anyway, that's so Karn, right? So 9th fret, big wide smear. We'll call it smear, back and forth. Open G. Open, right, so wide smear, open G to the 7th fret, open G to the 6th fret, and open A, 2 notes. So slow. And then there's a little gap. It doesn't come in where you think it is. There's actually a little hang back. Same again, and 1, 2, 3, 4 on the open E, right? So from the top, that's it. It's not actually that hard. It's just a case of getting your head around some of the weird stuff that he does. Now, the next part is the breakdown, and there's some ferociously weird stuff there, like, which I have to get my hands around it. We'll get into that. So stay tuned for part 2. Hope it's been okay for you, and it's good to be back.